is July 1st, and there's a lot of talk online about the new laws that will go into effect.
Julie, these new laws take effect at midnight tonight, and though this list is not exhaustive, it is pretty varied, as you'll see, almost like the community that we live in. Now, the first one that's gotten a lot of attention is smoking in cars with children. Starting tomorrow, if you light up a tobacco product in a vehicle with a kid under the age of 8, you could get fined. Speaking of driving, there's changes to the driving permit laws here in Virginia. Anyone with a driver's permit or learner's permit cannot have more than one passenger under the age of 21 with them in the vehicle. Again, that starts tomorrow. The General Assembly decided to lower the minimum age, or actually raise the minimum age to marry in the state. Used to, if you were 16, you could get married with parents' permission. That's not going to happen starting tomorrow. You have to be at least 18. There's also a whole slew of education laws that passed. They're going to be studying high school graduation requirements. Daily physical activity for students is also going to be a thing for elementary school students moving forward. And also, they're going to be studying electronic filing for student information. Now today, education is always a big deal, so we called up with a local Chester mom who started a homeschooling group for her students. We asked her what are some of the positives and negatives she's seen with that process.
Able to go at our own pace and focus on whatever they're interested in. I get to do everything that I want to do, but still I'm going to have to be handing over everything that's going on to the states.
How you spend your free time is completely up to you, obviously, but if you do like to take a drink or maybe get up in a deer stand, you might want to listen up. There are some changes coming to ABC laws. One of the big one, you'll soon be able to bring your own beer or wine to certain restaurants if they have the right license. There's a catch, though. You'll have to pay their corkage fee, and they get to set the price. Now, if fantasy sports are more your thing, you might want to listen to this. Very soon, operators in Virginia, so like DraftKings or FanDuel, will have to register with the state and pay a licensing fee every single year. Now, if you like to get out in the wilderness and hunting is more your thing, there's some changes there too. Anyone that releases dogs on someone else's property without their permission will now face a pretty stiff penalty starting tomorrow. And I didn't really know this was a thing, but if you like to hunt wild birds or small animals with a slingshot, starting tomorrow you'll be able to do that in certain places. Now, experts for that last group, the hunters out there, they say that it's always a good idea every year to be read up on the current law, mainly because it's a safety concern.
Well, every license we sell every year, try to warn everybody as they go out the door. Here's the new hunting regulations. Some things have changed, and you need to be up on them.
Most polls show that people think no lawmakers anywhere can get anything done, but there were two pretty big compromises at the Virginia General Assembly this past session. Of course, you'll remember Governor Terry McAuliffe and GOP leaders struck a historic, as they called it, gun deal. That takes effect tomorrow. There will be voluntary background checks for private sales at gun shows, and Virginia will also recognize concealed carry permits from other states. Of course, people on both sides of this debate say that deal didn't go far enough. The death penalty was also a contentious issue at the General Assembly. Lawmakers tried to make electrocution the default method, but eventually agreed that lethal injection was the better course. Of course, every single session, there's also very somber moments. Now in Virginia, you can buy what are known as Menzies license plates. She was a Hanover mother who was struck and killed by a drunk driver a few years ago in Hanover while she was jogging. There's also some strange laws that are going to be taking effect tomorrow. I'm not sure how many people knew this, but prior to tomorrow, there was never a state snake or a state rock. So tomorrow, the garter snake and Nelsonite will be the new state snake and rock. And I spoke to some people in Carytown about their reaction to hearing that news.
State bird is kind of cool, but really this, yeah.
My dad's really into like state things, so we look at like state birds and like the state fossils, and he like goes through all the state insects, and so he'll be interested in that.
We do have a bird and a tree and a flower, so why
Only
not?
a dog would forever that.
Yeah.
There you go.
So why not snake and a rock?
We got along this far without it. We got so many problems, they got to go pandering to snakes and rocks.
There you have it. Politics in 2016. Not many people can agree. Jake Burns, CBS 2.